Hi, and welcome to Across the Desk. This week, we have Sean Cummings back with us today, and we're going to talk about a few things. One, he's running for the Oklahoma Democratic Party chair, so we're going to be discussing a bit about that, and we'll see where it goes from there. Sean, it's nice to see you again.
It's good to see you again, my friend.
Yeah.
A lot's happened in that
short amount of time. So what have you been up to the last month and a half?
Well, you know what? I was thinking, I don't even think I was looking at running for state chair last time I talked to you.
No, you weren't.
Right, and so really, out of the stuff down at the county courthouse, this is what I would say. There was so much weird corruption down there, and then the same people got reelected. I literally got a fire burning in me that just said, you know, the only way to change this is to change the entire conversation across the state. And I'm hoping I can get there to do that. That's what I'm working on.
Yeah. So, and what was your whole... So that was your whole
thought
process on why you wanted to...
Well, I'll tell you what it was mostly about is, so all of this stuff happens down there, and all of us get a bunch of press, and it really did change things. It forced pressure on people. So the whole place is all Republican. Mm-hmm. So there's no recourse for anything. If one guy does something wrong, the next guy covers it. I mean, there is no... You and I have no recourse there. Now, we can go complain to David Prater's office, but he's still stuck in the same quandary. He's got to work with everybody every day. Mm-hmm. And I have nothing against him, but that's just the way the place is right now. I'm looking at it going, okay, so we're down to, we only have state senators and reps in Oklahoma County and Tulsa County. We have one in Stillwater. That's it.
That's it.
The rest of the state's not even covered. Nothing. So nobody is out there with the big megaphone saying even what Democratic principles are.
Yeah.
Much less what we're for or against.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of that.
Yeah, evidently you and I date the squad, and you know we're out hanging out with Antifa every night. And all
yeah.
That's all anybody knows or hears. So the conversation has to change.
Well, you know, and I've always noticed Democrats are horrible at messaging. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, like...
I would agree.
You know, one of the things was Bernie Sanders, and I don't want to bag too hard on Bernie Sanders. I was never a big fan, really. But he came out with that thing, I want to co-opt Democratic Socialists. And I see what he was trying to do, because that's what Republicans are good at. They take something, they wear it on their sleeve, and they're really good at messaging that. Yep. So we took this Democratic Socialist thing, horribly messaged it, and then the Republicans, who are good at messaging, ran with it and just put us in the dirt with it. Yeah. So we definitely need better messaging.
I'll give you an example of great messaging. So let's say you and I work in an office with 400 people. Each one of us starts wearing a yellow scarf every day. That's something we've never worn before. People go, what's the yellow scarf for? You go, it's for free choice of schools. And then that's all we say, knowing full well at lunchtime someone's going to ask us the next question, the next question, the next question, and we get to soft sell them and basically pickpocket them while we're shaking their hands.
Oh, yeah.
And they go, well, you must really believe in it or you wouldn't wear the scarf. And I like what you do with everything else in your life, so you must be right on that.
Yeah.
Until their special needs kids no longer has a program at the public school they were at because all the money went to the other place.
Oh, yeah.
And then they realize, okay, I was set up. Literally. So we need a message similar to that, really. And you know, I have never been afraid to speak truth to power, which is my biggest fault and my biggest asset, all at the same time.
Me and you are about the same, because, man, I tell you what, I make Democrats angry with some of the stuff I say.
So do I.
Because, you know, that's just the way I am.
I'll give you an example. Okay, so we'll get to the race here in just a minute. Perfect example is payday loans, 400% per year. It is ruining regular communities, farm communities, everything else, and it's eating black and brown communities alive. Democrat was the one that brought the bill in. And so that's what people will say. And I go, so we're not able to fix what we did wrong? Let's fix it.
You know,
we know what's wrong.
This reminds me, the last Democratic Attorney General we had was real big on checking those check cashing places. They were real good on it. You know, I know for a fact Walter Jenney Jr., when he worked at the AG's office, worked on that exclusively pretty much, and it did a great job of keeping those guys in check. And now there's just no checks.
So my big thing is basically, my talk, my spiel, when I'm talking to other Democrats, is I go, look, we're in the service business. We're supposed to help people make their lives better.
Oh, yeah.
And everyone's like, no, you're a politician. I go, we're supposed to help make people's lives better. So if I have the opportunity to be cannon fodder, you know, the person who takes the shots, between you and payday loans where you get a 25% loan instead of 400%,
yeah,
it's within reach. It can be done. Those are things that need to be megaphoned out all the time, and it's not happening.
Yeah,
it is literally not happening.
We don't have like a set of talking points like they give the Republicans every day,
every morning. It gets text out every day, right, or emailed out.
Here's what you're going to talk about today, and we don't have that.
Yeah, and we need you 8 guys on the news.
Yeah.
The other thing was a news presence, radio presence, newspaper presence. So that has gotten better in the last month, though. I got to tell you, because once I started bringing it up, and I'm not saying it was because of me, but probably because of me.
You know, I think it's a lot about you in the vanguard there, because you are people like you, and I see Mark Folk in the vanguard. You guys are out there. You're in the public. You're actually making noise and making change, and that gets people to talking.
And it's working.
And you know what? And then also we have people like myself. We're out there talking on social media, and I'm not the only one. There's others too. Like Mark Folk does have another show, Red State Revolt.
Yeah, I was on it a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, and he's been doing that for years. You know, so it didn't start with me or anybody else. He really started that a long time ago, before it was even, you know, popular to wear plaid. So to say. So hey man, so now we got some others too that are out there and getting vocal, and I think that's a good thing.
And I think it also makes it okay for other people to be vocal. That would have been afraid before.
Oh yeah.
So my wife ran for lieutenant governor about 8 years ago, and a whole bunch of people she ran with, like down the slate, didn't put what they were on their signs, wouldn't tell people they were Democrat, and you go, look, we have to offer something different. I can't just say don't vote for this person. And they go, well, why not? And you go, because they're bad. And they go, well, what's the next person going to be like?
What's he for?
Tell me why that's different. Right.
Yeah. So, what are they? Yeah, because that's what this is about. I mean, when it comes down to it, it's about your individual self and what's good for you when you go vote.
Yeah.
So we need to really give a message of. So what's the message, Sean? What is the message we should have?
So here's the thing that I would want to bring to people is Republicans take care of large business. That is what they do. That's where their money comes from, everything else. Everything else is a smokescreen. Anything else that they are using is a smokescreen. Let's talk abortion. Let's take the worst thing to ever talk about.
Yeah.
Throw abortion out there, and people would shame my wife. You're an abortionist. She's gone Catholic. I'm not. Actually, and a lot of other Democrats aren't. It's just on the platform.
Yeah.
And you go, so we respect it. I respect your choice. You respect mine.
Yeah. There you go.
Pretty easy life.
That's what it's about.
Now, instead of that, I go on the offensive, and I go, Trump was in office, you had the Senate, and you had the House, you guys did nothing. Nothing. I never want to hear about abortion again in my life.
Yeah, it's only for making money. That's what they use it for.
Right, if it mattered, you would have solved it.
Yeah.
You were in charge of everything.
Well, it's a good moneymaker for them. Why would they want to solve it?
They get to beat us over the head.
Yeah, there you go.
You look at that, and that one's pretty simple. And then, obviously, you know, you look at the basics of voter registration. Republicans beat us up on voter registration, not just a little.
In Oklahoma, they really kill us.
They spend enormous amounts of money with targeted information to go get new voters.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's amazing that they lost 10,000 voters in Oklahoma, and they still
it doesn't
matter. It doesn't matter. They're still way ahead of us here in Oklahoma.
So people ask me, they go, why would you do this? And I go, look, there's no governor, there's no lieutenant governor, and all 5 congressional seats are gone. Especially with Trump's people splitting off, because I think we're going to have a third party. I really truthfully believe it.
Good.
Right. You go, all right, we're back in the game. But we need a voice out there that's speaking to people.
Yeah.
I'll give you a couple ones that maybe your audience knows about or doesn't know about. So, are you familiar with truth in country labeling on food products like meat, produce, and everything?
But some of my people may not be. So let's explain that a little.
So I'll give you. Brazil is probably the best example with meat. They literally sell us low grade meat. There was asbestos found in there. There was salmonella, and it all had been like bleached out and sold out. And there were over 1,800 inspectors that had been taking bribes from these big, huge processing companies that are working in America.
Oh, man.
Processing companies. So we literally decided to stop taking any beef from Brazil, which was great for our farmers, right? While that had happened, so we quit taking it, they passed legislation that you no longer have to put a label on there to say where it's from. Anything that's made somewhere else, you have to put the label on.
Yeah, you have to put the label. Yeah, exactly.
You and I would pay more for American beef. We see it by the side of the road, eating on some nice grass. We know what we're getting. The Brazilian stuff is literally in a third world country factory, sent out ground meat to America. And now it's no longer made, listed that way, and it's blended into the American food products. Right.
Oh, yeah, okay. So is that the deal? They blend in so much of the Brazilian stuff with the American stuff, and say since it's such a percentage, they still say it's American.
It just goes into the. It just goes in. No, there's just you don't have to do a label.
Even have to label it.
Mexican vegetables don't need to say grown in Mexico, and they still use DDT there.
Really?
Literally.
Oh man.
Right. It's the reason for the organic movement, and not the reason for the organic movement.
Yeah.
But people go that route because they think it's going to be better. Look, the challenge for all of this is the people growing all of this produce and raising all of these protein items, meat, whatever you want to call it, voted for Trump.
Yeah.
And he's the one who did it to him.
Well, there's the thing right there. Does this stuff just not mean much to those people? Or does it just because the media or anything else is not getting to them?
Nobody's touching it. So Donald Trump did a beautiful job of eating up all of the oxygen in the air. You and I would never get on the air because
he's still doing it, man.
There's
still
always
doing
a
it.
story
We got an impeachment trial going on, so he's still doing it.
Yeah, he just sucks up all the air.
Yeah.
So we don't hear about anything else. It's brilliant and terrible.
And terrible.
But you know, the ranchers and farmers need to know how much this is costing them.
Yeah.
And had they not been getting subsidies over the last 3 years, a bunch would be out of business.
Yeah.
Because the big guys have investors. They can go back to their investors if they need more money. Small guy, you just lose your family farm and there's an auction.
Oh, yeah.
And it's over.
Yeah. You don't have the backing to get any loans.
I want to talk to those people.
Yeah.
And not talk about Nancy Pelosi and not talk about Mitch McConnell, but real things that affect their lives.
Yeah, exactly. As you notice, this show, I pretty much focus on Oklahoma politics. Right. I don't go outside. Sometimes it touches on national, like when Langford does something really, just...
When he's speaking as they invade the Capitol, which he helped cause.
Oh, yeah, and then you're looking, and then he comes out whining about how, it's so unfair that they're coming after us. And it's like, he's tried to, you caused an insurrection that almost got people killed. So, it's pretty serious.
He egged it on. So, in December, I'm at a Hanukkah lighting ceremony with him, standing next to him. And then all of this other stuff happens that he baits on, and you go, you don't get to hate one group, love another group, and not act like this is happening.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But,
you do the apology to the Black Lives Matter folks, but I was there and standing next to you at the Hanukkah light.
I know, man. Well, he's trying to polish a turd, and he's trying to save his career. I can see that because you know what? Because Republicans here are split too. Even if you think about it, not so much as other places, but some people think what happened at the Capitol was horrible,
and some
people are thinking, we should have killed more people.
And we have more retired military here than any other state per capita. It just shocks me.
Yeah.
Literally shocks me.
So what else is going on with your run for the Oklahoma
Democratic Party chair?
Yeah.
So here's how it works. Basically, about 800 people vote on it. So they are delegates from all over the state. Okay. So what you do is you literally kind of take a wall like this and you start writing down, what do I need to do first? Let's contact everybody. Okay. Let's be the first person who talks to everyone. I call everybody on that list. It took me about a week to get through because when I get them on the phone, they want to talk for an hour.
Yeah.
And I leave them answering machine messages. I'll do 2, and if you don't want to call me back, I'm assuming you're not voting for me at that point. I think that's fair.
That's fair.
So then I'm on every Zoom meeting at every county deal, and you get about 5 minutes to tell them what you're interested in. So the simple part of that is you go, are people moving towards the Democratic Party, or are they moving away from the Democratic Party? And you go, they're moving away, and you go, then we need to change.
Yeah.
It's not about anything other than that.
Not about anything other than that. Now, the other thing, and this may have a problem to do, because last season, I mentioned something, and I really went after the Democratic Party here in Oklahoma because they didn't recruit anybody. Here I am looking at who's running last year, and we had 50-plus seats that were uncontested because no one ran in the Democratic Party. So what about, is that on us? So who is responsible for recruitment, and why did we not do it?
That'll be me. So the deal is they have it situated at the vice chair and the secretary is supposed to help with this stuff. At the end of the day, it's on me to go, you just call your county chairs and go, look, whatever happens, don't leave them unchallenged. Make them go spend money, if nothing else. But what I want to do is actually redo the entire party. It's broken. We have less seats now than we've ever had.
Yeah.
So here's what I want to do. You as a Democrat, anybody else that are Democrats listening, please help me with this. Recruit candidates. And where you recruit them, school board, city council, especially small school boards, small city councils. What you do is you watch, sit in the back of the room or sit in the back of the Zoom and watch who does it. Private message them and go, hey, I saw that you were really interested in this. Would you like to be better at it?
Yeah.
And I go, what do you mean better? And you go, I can teach you how to make more concise questions, understand the process of how this works and everything else. Move them towards running, but don't ask them to run.
Well, I got one name for you. You mentioned it the other day on your Facebook Live deal, and that was David Glover.
Yeah.
And the weird deal is he's been a client of mine in the past.
He's a good guy.
So he's a great guy. Oh my, he's so involved and does everything, does great thing for the community, and I believe he's a Democrat.
Yes, he is.
So
he is lined up to run for a specific spot in the village that I'm familiar with, but I'm not. I think he's okay with me throwing it out.
He's going to do something, right? So that's great. That's great news because that guy.
He's a numbers guy. He's worked on everybody's campaigns for free. He's really smart.
And he gets out there.
Yeah.
He talks to people, and people like him, and he does stuff for the community that's really cool and really good. So, man, there's one good news
but that's where we. So here's the thing. We get people to go in and do city council and school board.
Hey, thanks for staying with us today on Across the Desk. This week's show with Sean Cummings right here. Hopefully we'll see him again a few more times before the end of this season's up.
There you go.
Great talk, man. I really appreciate you coming here every time. And tell us about what you're doing with the Oklahoma Democratic Party chair position and running for that. I wish you great luck in it. And we'll see what happens with you, Sean. We
I know I'm close. We'll see if we win.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, this is Across the Desk with Kit Fairchild, and we'll see you next week.